Sawyer is persistence. For over 55 years, we've pursued the harmony of precision and artistry. Our handcrafted paddles and oars unite industry-leading innovation with timeless craftsmanship. Each stroke tells a story shaped by the perfect balance of wood and carbon honed through decades of refinement. The result? The finest paddles and oars on the water for those who demand nothing less than excellence. Experience the art of performance. Experience Sawyer.
Well, hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Sawyer Factory Live. We are back in our factory here in Talon, Oregon. It's a beautiful March day. We're starting to see spring temperatures here and there. I think we're supposed to get into maybe the mid-70s next week. So I know a lot of you are probably seeing that early return of spring as of the winters that never really happened, and we had kind of light weather that came in and didn't really give us all that much in some of our snowpacks in some of our areas. If you're seeing this in the East Coast, I know that's exactly opposite. You've got all the snow in the country, so send some to the West if you get a chance. If you're sending a buddy, if he's coming out to visit the West Coast, just pack his suitcase full of snow and ice and bring it on out to the West. But this is our live show. The whole idea of this is that if you have a question for anything we're covering, please put a comment in the feed. Tell us what you're needing, what you're looking for. We have team members that are monitoring this. The control room will also let us know if we have something that we need to address. But this is a live feed. We do this every couple weeks just to give you a little question and answer if there's something that we cover and it sparks an interest. So without further ado, we're going to kind of kick things off. Right now it's springtime. Folks are getting their boats ready, they're getting everything geared up, and they're starting to look at like what needs to be tuned up on their setups. Of course, when it comes to the oars in your boat, you're doing a little kind of overview of your oars, inspect them real close. And really what you want to be looking for is you want to be looking for any chips or dings that may be in your blade, in your carbon or fiberglass shaft, and definitely any chips or dings in your wood. If you've got exposed wood, absolutely good idea to get on to our do-it-yourself page, find out what you need. Most of the time all you're going to need is some varnish. But also there is, you can get some two-part epoxy there. There is some quick putty fill. And of course, my number one thing, if you do nothing for your oars, is sand out the rough spots, give a little sunscreen to your oars, and put some Miller machine grade spar varnish on there. Because the marine grade spar varnish that is formulated for Sawyer is what your paddles and oars came with. So you definitely want to put that on there and take care of them. If you have any questions on that, you definitely can reach out to our team. Control room's going to pull up that link real quick so you know where that is. The do-it-yourself page literally has all those things that you need. Now, if you are inspecting your oars and you notice that maybe there are some deeper dings or gouges in there, you definitely want to see if you can take care of it yourself, get those things done. And this is not the time for a big repair to be in the factory, okay? It's springtime. We are completely busy trying to load in our dealers so that your locations near you have the product. If you have a Sawyer dealer nearby, chances are they have already received at least 1 or 2 pre-seasons. So if you're looking for Sawyer product, by all means, check with your local dealer first. See if they've got what you're looking for. If you've got a repair that's beyond the do-it-yourself time period and the do-it-yourself kind of skill set, then you can get it into us, but you need to know that, one, shop time is at a premium. So it's not going to be the most affordable time to get repair work done. And also, shop time is at a premium for building things, and so it's going to take more time. So it's going to take more time, and it's going to be probably a little more expensive to do a shop repair in the middle of the season. So the do-it-yourself stuff really is going to help you take care of any little bits that you need to take care of, as far as you can re-rope wrap, you can re-grip, re-stop. You can even do the aftermarket molded pro tips. A lot of you have been taking advantage of that. And if you've got that kit and you have questions, reach out to us. Let us know. We've seen a lot of folks ordering them online for the wides and for the shoal cuts. A lot of folks are ordering the molded pro tip for the shoal cut. So, we want to know how that's working for you. Are you able to get the tip completely ground off? Are you able to get it sealed up back on there with the amount of epoxy? Do we need extra epoxy? And then once that's all done, are you able to get that nice fresh coat of varnish and get everything to sit down right? The shoal cut aftermarket molded pro tip definitely snaps on there pretty good. So I think that's probably the best fit and the best fix for any all wood oar that you're basically just trying to repair those pro tips on the blade. We have gotten some inquiries for some other profiles, so we're working on that as well. But do that little bit of once over on your oars right now, paddles as well. Inspect them real close, and before you get out on the water. That's really the main thing, is double check, inspect them, make sure that you're not going to expose something that has got raw wood in it. So very important there. And we do have plenty of do-it-yourself videos that are posted on our YouTube channel and on our how-tos. If you go to the bottom of our pages, there's plenty of how-to links there. So use our resources, and if there is something that we haven't covered, then definitely reach out to us, reach out to our team, and we're more than happy to talk to you about how or what is the best way to repair a specific paddle or oar issue. So moving right along into one of the things we like to do is we're going to spotlight some new product that you may or may not be aware of. Then we'll kind of touch base on where we're at with the Fly Fishing Film Tour, and then kind of wrap it up with a project that we just released. So as far as new product goes, the new product that we have that we want to showcase today is actually just a little bit of a new twist on a item favorite with Sawyer, and that is our MX series. A lot of you are aware of the Pattern MX series, and the MX series that we have with the patterns on it do come in multiple patterns. And I'll get the control room real quick just to pull up that page so you can take a look at that and just kind of see how many patterns there are there, because there's quite a few variety of patterns on there. And then I've got quite a few of them with me here, and I'm just going to kind of show you some of these and kind of tell you what we've done with the patterns. Okay, so moving on to the patterns is that there's really almost no limitation to what you can actually put on a pattern. And real quick, let me see if there's actually we had a comment real quick. Let me just see what that is. Give me 1 second. Oh, Western Canada dealers. Hey, I'm sorry, we don't really have too many in Western Canada. In Canada, we basically have fly shops. We've got Iron Bow Fly Shop. We've got Elk River Fly Shop, and they're kind of more around the Calgary area. And so really Western Canada, you're more than likely, your best bet is to get for oars, get down to Oregon, Clackett Craft. For some more product, you can get to Terrico, which is in Washington. Also, you've got Fishery Supply, which is also in the Seattle area, but those are really your closest dealers. Western Canoe and Kayak used to carry some of our stuff, but they were only carrying paddles. So sorry about that. That's kind of what we have for dealer base right now. We are shipping direct into Canada. Most of the stuff can ship postal. As long as it's breaking down, it'll ship. But wood oars into Canada might be a little tough. So, but thank you for the comment and the question on that for sure. You know, we're working on it. We're trying to expand into Canada as much as we can. Now, moving along, we're going to bring off the screen just so you can kind of see what we've got going on. But what we did this year is we basically took and we gave the sales team a little project. All right, and so the sales team all got to choose just a couple patterns, and you can see really there is no limitation to the pattern. So, if you get interest, I'll let you figure out which sales team did what. But that's just one pattern. Then, we do also have just kind of some different kind of themes here. There's really no limitations to what you can do there. And a lot of it, if you don't see something you like, there's also a custom option as well. So there's plenty of stuff like that. If you're kind of getting into a little different pattern print, little stuff like that. And you can also change up the rope wraps on these. So the team has already said that they think that maybe this pattern here might look better with a white rope wrap. So you can do a white rope wrap or a red rope wrap or a black rope wrap. So that's very key. And then what really works in MX patterns is kind of flashy repeated prints. So this is one of the new prints out there. It's just repeating itself, and it's got a nice little bling to it, kind of nice and flashy there. Another repeated print that is kind of, if you like turquoise and kind of almost a stained glass look, but something like that there, and you really kind of just kind of see where it's like the flashy little repeated prints, and they really kind of just stand out. So it's like if you're just trying to match up something with your boat. And then, there is definitely, this is kind of another version off of, we have the tie-dye and we have the Hawaiian mosaic, and then this is kind of I'd say a little bit of like a cheetah print almost. So, just kind of got the really small patterns, but it just repeats itself multiple times on the shaft. And then always, there tends to be a little bit of a draw to kind of a different version of a topographic map. So the topo is that's more of a desert topo, and it kind of repeats itself out throughout the shaft, and you can kind of see that you get a little different look depending on where it is on the shaft. So that's just a few of the MX patterns that we have. Those are in the MX prints, and there's a few other stock patterns there. Couple more employee patterns, and we'll be rolling those out as time goes on. But you can see that basically it gives you the ability to really customize the oars to fit your personality of your boat. And so that's really the main thing is, if you have a chance to kind of make something stand out a little different, you can also mix and match. If you wanted, if you're ordering a set of 3, you could order 3 different oars with 3 different patterns, and that way it would definitely kind of be a unique set just for you, and you wouldn't have to worry about somebody else kind of getting onto that. The other thing on the MX pattern page is we do have topo maps from Kind Design. That's one pattern as well. And then also we have all of our fish prints as well. So there's a complete variety of fish prints that you can choose from. And those are all wrapped on an MX, and an MX is still reinforced with the triaxial weave fiberglass on there, and it really kind of gives it a nice positive snapping oar, like just plenty of energy storage in there, and it's definitely one of our #1 sellers, and you have some customization ability. So, take advantage of that. Now, with any composite oar, composite oars primarily need a nice blade to go with it. And when you're looking at a composite oar, the blade makes the big difference. And today, as far as the blades that we want to talk about, is I want to talk about the VLAM blades. Now, if you look behind me here, you can see quite a few VLAM oars. Those are all one piece. But if you're looking for that performance oar with the MX series or the MXG series, where you want that responsiveness of the fiberglass oar and you want to be able to take your blade off, that's where you're starting to you have to kind of build your own setup. So when you're looking at doing that, we're going to talk about the VLAMs. And the VLAM actually shows up in 3 different profiles. The number one VLAM profile is actually the wide. I would say we see most folks doing the VLAM wide. You can see you get the nice angulated Western red cedar look in there. But these also have a nice layer of unidirectional throughout the blade, so it is reinforced. You can put a full perimeter wrap on these if you want, but we don't have that as a stock item. But the reason for the VLAM is that it is extremely lightweight. So the whole idea is putting a lightweight blade that has plenty of good performance characteristics in it. At the end of your composite shaft, you're going to have a super light swing weight. Okay, so the wide, definitely that's probably the most popular as far as the go-to. But depending on where you're at, there are a lot of folks that are doing the shoal cut blade. And the shoal cut in the VLAM is definitely a very popular one with the anglers. We do that a lot in the square top oars. We do that quite a bit as just a blade. And you know, the whole benefit of the shoal cut is you can see it has a top and a bottom, and the middle of the blade is about right there. So there's quite a bit more mass in the lower part of the blade than there is on the top. So it really will excel in shallow water. When you're digging into just a couple inches of water, having that 2-inch belly, on the bottom of the blade, you're really going to grab quite a bit bigger purchase. I don't know if you can really see that, but you can kind of look at there. You see how that little bit of cross hatching is in there? That's that unidirectional. So it really stands out on that part of the blade there. So the shoal cut, shallow water, and here's that pro tip that we were talking about. That's the aftermarket piece that you can replace if you wear it down. So very important that you can actually pull these off, put a new pro tip on there, and get a lot more life. Of course, they're all coated up with some nice marine grade spar varnish as well. So now, those are really probably the two main blades that we see the most in the VLAM line. But this here, this is a VLAM narrow. And you know, the narrow blade, it's just shy of 6 inches. The wide blade flares out to 7. It's a little bit narrower, but the real dynamite sneak in there is that a narrow blade is way lighter than a shoal or a wide. So if you're looking for some light swing weight and trying to get the best swing weight out of a composite shaft, look at the narrow blade. Narrow blades are really liked by folks that like to do kind of high RPMs. That's what you want to get the narrow blade for. And there's plenty of blade there for, you know, a lot of folks in the Grand where it's a high volumes of water, real turbulent. They like to run the narrow blade so it doesn't grab your blade as easily as a wide does. Now, another little inside note to be aware of is pairing the VLAM blade, which is one of our highest end, most expensive blades, with our most affordable shaft is a absolute marvelous package. Super light swing weight, durable, has some nice flex to it. So that's put the VLAM blade with a polecat shaft. We actually make the polecats with a tan cuff. So we call that the black and tan. So if you're looking for a nice little setup, the black and tan is the VLAM and the polecat, and those come in anything from 8 feet to 10 feet. Now, a little side note that the polecat is also the most affordable oar shaft in our line, and it is the most affordable oar shaft across the line as far as some of the other models out there that come in with the plastic sleeve and the aluminum shaft. Those prices of those has come up to where it's the same as a polecat. So if you buy a polecat, you get a great price and you get a full composite shaft. A polecat is a full fiberglass shaft, reinforced at the bell at the blade end. But polecats also make it so you can change out handles. You can put counterbalance handles in them. You can put regular handles. You can put Gilman grip handles in them. And so a lot of options, pretty much a great buy. Just upgrade to some VLAM blades and you got yourself a dynamite setup ready to get out on the water. So that's basically what we're going to just mainly leave that at. VLAM blades and MX pattern prints. Those are your two new items this year just to kind of make you aware of. Maybe you were aware of them, maybe you weren't. But those are new in the line. And then if you got any questions on them, reach out, let us know. Now, moving along, everybody knows that we've got the F3T film tour going on, and Sawyer is an oar sponsor of the F3T. So we've been touring around with the F3T crew. They've been out in the Midwest for the last week or so, and we haven't been out in the Midwest, but they're coming back this way. They're coming back west, and we're going to be connecting up with them again. If I can get the control room to just pull up, you can see our F3T page and see where we're going to be. But basically, as they come back west, we're going to have a kickoff kind of back-to-back. So first thing coming up, as they're coming back west, they are heading into Colorado, but we also are going to have another part of the team be in Bend. So the first show coming up is Bend, Oregon, and that will be on Friday the 20th. So if you're in Bend, Oregon, mark your calendar, get your tickets now. We will be at the Bend, Oregon show. We will actually be giving away a pair of oars at the show. If you've paid attention to this before, you know that every show that we are at and every show that is listed on our website is your chance to win a pair of F3T Artisan square tops. So definitely check that out if you're into angling shows, fishing shows, definitely something worthwhile. But the day after that, right after that, kicks off the Colorado tour with the Denver show. So the 21st is going to be in Denver. And so you've got Denver on the 21st, then you got Boulder, Colorado on the 25th, and then you're going to Fort Collins, and then the final stop is Aspen, Colorado. So we are actually sending a team member from the talent location here to Colorado. What that means to you is if you are a guide in Colorado and you need oars, you need to be reaching out to our pro team. You need to be reaching out to your dealers, check and see what they have in stock, and get your order in because we're going wheels up probably by the 17th. So if you're looking for something and you want to save on some shipping, reach out to the pro team and get an order in. And if you are just a general consumer out there, swing into your shops, check them out, see what they have. Look at getting tickets to get to one of the showings in Colorado. There'll be giveaways at every one of those showings. There's definitely, they're giving away boat packages, they're giving away coolers and fly rods and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great energy, great vibe. And we have some partners with those events that we're at. And so in Bend, our F3T partner is Tumalo Canoe and Kayak Shop. So Tumalo right there in town is definitely one you're going to want to check out. They're going to participate with us there. I think we also are working with Anglers All in Colorado. We're working with Boulder Boat Works in Colorado. We're working with St. Pete's Fly Shop in Fort Collins. So those shops are definitely going to be part of these shows as we're coming through. And then our team will be, like I said, in Colorado for that period of time. So definitely some good, exciting stuff coming up as we go into March. The whole tail end of March is basically starting off in Oregon and then wrapping up in Colorado. I think that last show in Aspen is, as you can see, the 31st of March. So March will finish in Aspen, Colorado. So definitely check those things out. It's definitely a great show, and get a chance to chat with our team, ask them any questions you may have. Now, moving on, I want to wrap up with something that is a project that that we did. And this is a project that started it started off in December of 2024, and we shot everything in June of 25, and it finally was released right after the Super Bowl in February of 26. And we were just honored enough to be part of a documentary series called All Access. It's hosted by Andy Garcia, and the whole focus of our part of it was access to rivers, or to nature through rivers. And so I'm going to play a little clip of the beginning of it. This is hosted on our YouTube channel. It's hosted on the All Access page. You'll see snippets of it on some of our social posting. I'm going to play a little bit of just the first 30 seconds of it, and then I want to kind of follow up with what we're trying to do with it. So in the control room, if you can pull that up and play that for us. Make it full screen. Excellent. Looking good.
Whether gliding silently in a kayak, navigating rapids in a raft, or propelling a canoe across a still lake, the act of moving through water under your own power offers a unique perspective to connect with the water that allows us to live on the land. We come to the water for different reasons. Some seek solace, others want a challenge, but all get a profound connection with the natural world.
Water is a very universal adventure. Pump that off. We know that guy. All right. So if you get a chance, definitely check out the full video. It's only 7 minutes. It's worth the viewing. Obviously, we're a little biased. A lot of Sawyer product in there, but we do have partners in there. We actually have Will Volper from Indigo River Tours. He basically gives kind of the outfitter perspective. We've got an interview piece in there with Link Jackson, who gives kind of the conservation perspective of kind of Link Jackson has been partnered with us since the beginning on the Artisan series. So there's a nice tie-in there. And then we actually got Bruce Bergstrom, the owner who purchased Sawyer from Ralph. We got him up and into it. He gave a nice interview piece that kind of gives you that historic element as well. It showcases really rivers around Southern Oregon, but the whole message is, and the whole hope of this for us is that let's invite somebody new to the river or to the waterways. So the ask to all of you out there that have watched this or see this clip, let's invite a new friend to the river, to the lakes, to the ocean. Let's get somebody new into paddling. If every single person that watches that video takes that on and invites a new person to the river or to the lake to go paddling with them, or even paddling on the bay, that's one new paddler that we've gotten into the industry, and show them what the wonderful thing that water has to do for us. We're all little water babies. We love being on the river, lakes, ocean, any place I can get in water and have a good time. Absolutely is a place I want to be. But take the challenge. Invite a friend and get a new person on to a river or a lake near you. And with that, thank you all very much for paying attention to us. This has been our live from the factory. And if you do get out on the water, you get your spring trip in there. Remember, when you get out on the water, share the waterways, be patient, be calm, share the boat ramps and the takeouts. And when you get out on the water, be patient, be calm, and we will see you on the river. That's it for now. See ya. I think the controller.